Hello and welcome back. We are about to go through an example or demo reading. This is a pranic intuitive reading done with some energy activation sessions preceding it and using a spread that you'll find within the Chakra Intuition System set of courses. So many of you watching might have gone and downloaded the PDF document that gives you access to the root chakra reading diagram or a map or a blueprint, however you choose to think of it. And this is using that root chakra overview reading that you will find in the Chakra Intuition System. Now, generally, this overview reading could be brought through for any number of things that a querent or yourself, you might have questions about regarding the realm of experience that you are, experiencing, that you're associating or connecting in some way to your root chakra domain. Now, the root chakra as a system of energy within your body is responsible for all sorts of different experiences and how those experiences go for you. Experiences that correlate essentially either to the realm of the entire root chakra as an overall theme that you'll see manifesting, or to one of 8 separate vibrations. Now, this reading actually allows the querent or the reader to draw a card or to do a divinatory casting of some sort. It doesn't necessarily have to be card drawing, although that is what you will see me demonstrate here today, because my favorite divination method is tarot card reading, so I use a deck of tarot cards in this example reading. The deck of tarot cards I'm using, by the way, is the Connolly Tarot. Really, really beautiful tarot deck based on stained glass artwork, and that's sort of the feel of the deck. So each of the 8 cards that you see drawn to lay on the 8 positions that you see diagrammed in this reading corresponds to one of the vibrations that sort of feeds into and influences the root chakra field of energy. So each of these pranic vibrations is the vibration that you carry or are experiencing in this domain of your life. So as you can see on the diagram of this spread in front of you on the screen, we have 8 different vibrations that sort of connect into and feed into the root chakra domain. If you've gone through the Chakra Life System's energy activation session for the root chakra field, then you'll have also learned some energetic techniques for activating and empowering and enlivening each of these vibrations. Here we are going to assume that we are connected in some energetic sense to information about these vibrations in your field, so that we can now do an intuitive reading for how each of those vibrations are doing, how you are doing with each of those 8 vibrations. The vibrations you see are as followed. We're going to explore the vibration of certainty. We are going to explore the vibration of nurture, where we examine themes of nurture in your life. These are experiences that you may first have encountered as a very, very, very young infant child and toddler and preschooler. These are early childhood memories that first, of all in our lives as humans, we have these experiences in relationship to our parents. And the foundational vibration of nurture that is set at that time in our lives is then grown throughout our life into our current experience of nurture. Now at the very top you'll see a spot where we're going to be examining themes of authenticity, which are also very important within the root chakra realm. And then over on the top right, you're going to see that we're going to examine anything that might be coming up within the realm of the shadow archetype of the root chakra. And the shadow archetype here, we are going to call the archetype of the victim. This is the archetype that may have sort of collected vibrations that we have accumulated in our life towards and about experiences of being victimized, of being victims, rather than being nurtured, being harmed and victimized in some way. And it is our work, in a sense, to heal these victim issues in order to really fully allow our root chakra domain to vibrate and pulsate in a very healthy manner, a manner that empowers us and feeds us and nurtures the very energetic foundation of our life experience. We have to get this root chakra stuff sorted out first, in a sense, before we can move on. So we're going to be looking at the root chakra's shadow archetype, the victim issues, over when we examine that spot. So in each of these spots, as you can see, there's going to be a card drawn, and that card is going to give us more information on how the querent that we're reading for is doing with this particular vibrational experience, and that's how the reading works. And then, of course, the other 4 vibrations that this reading examines are the vibrations of stability, security and safety, grounding, and centering. And we have information via a tarot card in my demonstration reading here today, and you could bring information through about any of these vibrations using any divinatory tool or method of your choosing. And that's going to be the focus of our work here today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that I always look at when I bring a reading like this through, and by the way, you're welcome to bring a reading through for yourself and follow along. If you feel connected enough to the root chakra already, if you just want to take a few moments to connect yourself with the awareness of your root chakra field, you can very easily use a card deck or divinatory device of your choosing to go ahead and bring a root chakra overview reading through for yourself, like the one you see on the screen. This reading this week is for guest number 1 from our Reader Circle group. The Reader Circle is one of the memberships that you get when you join our Pranic Intuitive Inner Circle, and those members actually get these personal readings from me. They get a chance to get a personal reading from me each and every week. So this is for guest number 1, and guest number 1 had a very overall general root chakra question, and after looking at this reading for a while, I can tell you right off the bat, and then I'll go into some detail about all of the cards in all of the positions that you see here. I can tell you right off the bat that this reading to me does feel like a root chakra centered reading, but what I want you to notice is the dominance here of the cups as the suit, and then after the cups we have the suit of wands as the second most dominant. There are 3 different cup cards in this reading, although there is another cup very prominently displayed too, and we'll talk about that in a minute. In fact, both the major arcana cards, which are very special, sort of bigger deal tarot cards than the 56 minor cards. There are 22 major cards in a deck of 78 tarot cards, as well as 56 minors. We have 2 majors here. We'll talk about those in a minute, and they have cups on them too, which makes the dominant suit of cups showing up as 3 of the 8 cards being from the suit of cups, even that much more prominent in this reading. At first blush, you might look at this reading, and the one symbol that sticks out at me, at least over and over and over again, is the symbol of the cup. In the position of the certainty vibration, we see the 4 of cups. In the position of the authenticity vibration at the top there for this querent, we see the 5 of cups. In the position of the centering vibration, we see the ace of cups reversed. Now I'm going to discuss the other two suits that have shown up in this reading before I discuss the major arcana and start bringing in all of the different reading advice, because I want to get to what I saw at first blush in this reading, which again is a reading about the root chakra field, the field of grounding and actually manifesting our three-dimensional reality. That's the field of energy that we're looking at here, the field of manifesting. So it appears that the dominance of cups here, with 3 of the 8 cards being cups, and cups being also major focal symbolic images that jump out at us on the other 2 major arcana cards. The field of cups, the suit of cups represents the emotional self. Cups are correlated with the element of water, and water governs the emotional awareness of the human. So this particular root chakra issue we can see just by doing this reading right now and looking at the suit of cups jumping out at us from this reading. We know that this particular root chakra issue is getting a bit emotional for the querent. We can tell that there's a big emotional component to this. The other suit that is somewhat dominant here is the suit of wands. We have the Queen of Wands reversed down there in the safety and security position, and then over in the victim issues position we have the Nine of Wands reversed. So we have 2 reversed wands cards that are kind of playing into the root chakra field here. Now what this tells me about this overall issue that I'm reading about for guest 1 is that the root chakra issues that are up for this querent not only are feeling quite emotional right now, but also have very much to do with this idea of wands reversed, and wands reversed are playing into safety and security, and how this querent may have felt victimized in the past. And the words that are just coming in right now are essentially that this querent has worked really, really hard and devoted a very large amount of creative passion to a number of projects that unfortunately have still left the querent feeling a bit unstable, a bit unsafe, a bit unsecure, and in a sense taken advantage of. So their creative passions are sort of not being used in the best way, and that's a feeling that you certainly get when you look at this reading, or certainly that I get when I look at this reading. There's only one other suit in this reading, and that is the suit of pentacles. We actually find the suit of swords lacking completely. It just doesn't come up in this reading. The suit of swords is to do with the air sign, air element considerations like communication and mental activity, and that doesn't seem to be here in the root chakra field. And we have one pentacle here, which is the 5 of Pentacles. We also have the 5 of Cups. Now the 5 of Pentacles is shown up in the mother and nurturer position, which leads me to believe that something happened in the mother nurturer energy past of this querent, perhaps even in early childhood, that felt like a massive disruption in terms of some realm of wealth, finance, place, a large move, or an immigration, a move that sort of large, a very, very transformative and sometimes destructive, potentially move would have made something like a card of upheaval, like the 5 of Pentacles, occur in the position of the mother nurturers here for this person. And that sort of background there is probably what has led this querent to have these reverse wands show up, because that 5 of Pentacles upheaval that we see in the mother and nurturer position here represented, if you think of how a human being usually reacts when they're put into a position of physical upheaval, we work a lot harder than we usually do to get back our stability, right? So we see the Queen of Wands reversed in the position of safety and security down here. And we see Temperance, which is a major arcana card, reversed in the position of stability here. And we also then understand how working this hard to sort of get up on a par with other people who may not have been in such a tremendous upheaval as we have been certainly explains why this person has put so much of their fire energy, their creative energy, into this root chakra realm. So we see when we, just sort of survey, just very basically, which suits have shown up in this energy reading. We learn a lot just from that information. Now, I want to just really quickly address the two major arcana cards that have come up here. And if you're interested in learning in a much more in-depth way about the tarot elements that I'm discussing here, obviously I'm explaining some concepts from tarot as I'm going through this course with you here, because I'm reading with tarot cards. Tarot really is my passion. You will find a way on this page to get access to 3 tarot courses that I've included in one of the packages that we're offering at Pranic Intuition and the Chakra Intuition System and Chakra Life System this month. And this package includes Tarot for Beginners, which is a full 16-hour course that I have for you on the tarot. So much more information to share on the tarot if you're interested. Current members, including the current guest, you do already have access to Tarot for Beginners. So if it's sparking some interest for you, the concepts of the suits that I'm discussing here, it might be time to explore that work a bit more in depth if you haven't done already. So the other thing that I'm going to mention here, and this is particular to tarot as well, is that not only do we have 6 minor arcana cards that correlate and reside within one of the suits of the tarot card deck here, but we also have 2 special cards called major arcana cards. And the major arcana cards that we have that have shown up here in this reading are the major arcana cards 15. Number 15 has shown up in the position of grounding. That's the card you see with the archangel figure there in the center with the rainbow behind him. And archetype 15 in this deck is called materialism. Now, in regular decks of cards and more traditional decks of cards, this archetype 15 that is shown up here in the grounding position can also represent a force that archetypally can be so powerful that it is a rather fearful one for a lot of people. And in other more traditional decks, this card is not called materialism, it is called the devil. Now, I really like that the Connolly Tarot has chosen a renaming of this card, because I do feel that name really scares a lot of people, and unduly so, because all we're talking about archetypally here is the realm of temptation to focus too much on the material, to become entrapped in a way by materialism. And for instance, if you have really focused on your root chakra stuff, like someone who's had a massive upheaval in their mother and nurturer past, like we see here in this reading, may have done, it might absolutely be appropriate at certain times, especially in your life, querent one, to focus on that materialism aspect of the life, because that aspect of your life has probably been uprooted a lot more than normal people in normal circumstances. There's some large upheaval that's definitely happened here. We see that with the dominance of the 5s, and then with this 15 we see materialism. And that is the problem here with the grounding aspect of this person's root chakra field right now. We could almost say that it feels like this person might have done a complete 180 or a pendulum swing from a life that somehow before didn't really have much concern for the domain of the root chakra at all. Perhaps it was just taken care of or taken for granted and didn't need to be worried about. But then something has happened here. It is very obvious by the cards that has come up that has made the work of the root chakra, that 3-dimensional focus, that material focus, very, very, very important. And here in the position of grounding, the vibration of grounding, we see almost as feeling a little too dense now, too grounded, too rooted, because now we're getting a vibration that almost feels like stuckness. And that's one of the things that I will tell you guys when you have example readings with me, when I'll have the the focus of my reading where I'm teaching like this, when I draw that focus to the major arcana cards that are showing up, like this one is a major card. The major cards are the big issue cards in the reading. So when you have a major arcana card show up, it's almost well, I can just about say it's probably wise to focus your energy and your healing work and any affirmations and further work that you choose to do on a healing basis after having these readings. You might want to take your work further by doing some healing. I would recommend a powerful focus on the vibrations that your major arcana cards have shown up in. And also, the dominant reversal of the cards are also important. So when you're looking at these readings and you've brought one of these readings through and you've had the reading explained to you, if you're a member of our inner circle, what you might want to go do for yourself after receiving these readings is double down on some healing work that will help you with especially the vibrations that the major arcana cards have shown up in. So in this particular reading, that's the vibration of grounding, which we're currently discussing, and the vibration of stability, which we will cover in a minute, because we have temperance reversed in the vibration of stability. And because that card is a reversed major arcana card, I will actually say it is probably more important to focus your healing work on than the upright major arcana card. Because when we see reversed cards in a reading like this, what we learn is that the card reversals are really where we want to focus our healing work first, because we need to get these cards turned the right way up. Visually, when you're looking at this reading, it's almost like your mind's eye wants to turn them the right way up. Your unconscious naturally tries to turn these images the right way up to make sense of them. And so, of course, it's very natural to focus on uprighting, in a sense, the energies of the reverse cards first. That's really the first prescription that we get when we find a reading like this and bring this reading through for the querent, for the guest, is focus on uprighting the reversed cards in the reading by doing some more healing work, more of the affirmations that we recommend, and so on and so forth. And the work of the Chakra Life System and Mythic Manifesting courses coming up will also help with this. And you really want to double down on these positions, because they are really the ones that are showing up as needing the most attention from you, and that's why they're showing up as reversed. And that's also why the major arcana cards are showing up in the positions they are. It's because those vibrational positions are also important. So it's almost like the reversed major arcana card is the one that needs most of our attention, because that says, hey, I'm a major arcana card, and hey, I'm reversed, to do something about me. So let's turn now from the vibration of grounding here, being in the domain of materialism, which goes into oppression and restriction, and all of those things that we can give that devil archetype realm power over us if we're not too careful. We need to be sure that we are in charge. If you have some strong rooting that is going on in your life right now, if you've recently done a large move and you're working hard to root into your new home, or if you've recently done a large transition like a bankruptcy or a financial transition in one way or another, even for the positive, not necessarily for the worse, that transition can pull you into grounding so fast that it can be possible to have it be a little more powerful than it needs to be. And so what I would recommend, first of all, for the grounding position here, showing up as archetype 15, is I would strongly recommend that you do some of the work of the Chakra Life System for the vibration of grounding. Really pay attention to that session, especially when it comes out. If you have access, you should have access to the Chakra Life System course. And I'll link it on this page for you if you don't. If you remind me, if you don't see the link, I'll make sure it's there. But the work of Archetype 15 is also work that you will see us bringing affirmations through for you in the Mythic Manifesting course. And one of the affirmations that I would like to share with you right now, and I'll share an affirmation like this for each of the reversed cards and the major arcana cards in this reading, just to give you something to do, to continue your work into more and more healing for the root chakra field as you go through your week and your month. I would recommend that you write down and maybe print out and put around your house and on your mirror and things like that an affirmation that I would like to share with you right now. And this affirmation is an affirmation to help with bringing the realm of the archetype, which is known as Archetype 15, which is very often a shadow archetype, and that's why we give it the name materialism or the devil. This archetype is very, very important to work with, to make sure that the vibration of grounding in your root chakra field doesn't become too dense, too heavy. It doesn't become like a shackle pulling you down. We want you to feel rooted and grounded through this vibration, but we want to be sure that you are also able to leave this vibration to fly when you need to. So here's an affirmation that you might want to repeat to yourself to help with this Archetype 15 issue showing up within the vibration of grounding in this reading. The affirmation is as follows. I bring my life back into balance by breaking free of the fears and material concerns that make me feel trapped. I break free and into balance. Good affirmation based on the affirmation found in Joanna Powell Colbert's companion book for the Gaian Tarot, which is Journey Through the Gaian Tarot, which is a tarot text and deck that I highly recommend to all of my students, published by Llewellyn. Okay, and now we're going to move on to examine Temperance Reversed, which is the major arcana card that we see showing up here in the domain of the vibration of stability. Now, the vibration of stability is important to basically, to stabilize our vibration enough that we can create and build on our creations and successes to really build something substantial with our vibration, with our life, with our soul purpose. It's important to have stability. And here we have a reversed major card showing up. And the major card that's showing up is the archetype of Temperance. So, in a nutshell, what I would say here is probably going on for this person in terms of their vibration, the vibration of stability, is that, it's very difficult because there is such an interplay of information that this person is checking into to make sure they're aligned with their soul purpose and aligned with their spirit, and how fast stuff is coming at them in the real world. It feels like a lot to balance. It feels like a lot to be in dialogue with both the realm of spirit and the realm of the material for this individual. And getting that dialogue more harmonious and easier to tap into both without feeling overwhelmed by the realm of spirit or the realm of the material, because there's a ton going on in both domains. I can see that for this querent for sure. It's very important to get this vibration associated with the major arcana card of Temperance aligned and vibrating very strongly in an upright way. It's almost like the vibration of Temperance here and that's a vibration that we explore in the Mythic Manifesting course that's coming up. It's being sort of turned on its head. It's not being allowed to function properly because it's reversed. So I'm now going to give you an affirmation for the vibration of Temperance, again from Joanna Powell Colbert's companion guide to the Gaian Tarot, because she has an affirmation that is perfect for combining opposites. And actually, I'll just open this by reading her interpretation of archetype 14 in its shadow side, which is what she describes as a card in reversal in my system. She says there could be difficulty finding a balancing point between two polarities or sides of an issue, with one side or the other being more weighed down. If someone is taking an extreme stance and refusing to consider moderation or cooperation, encourage them to take the middle road. There may be a struggle to harmonize or blend different elements or conflicts or opposing sides. Perhaps situations are being made worse due to a failure to come to terms with difficulty or loss or other shadow issues. Integration and healing are needed. So if that feels spot on, querent one, guest one, for how stability as a vibrational force is feeling in your life, it feels like a very difficult, tricky thing. And here's the affirmation that Joanna Powell Colbert puts for archetype 14. I combine and blend opposites to create something beautiful and unique. I combine and blend opposites to create something beautiful and unique. Now, I would say that really and truly the best way to use an affirmation like this, when you've just been told about all of this difficulty and shadow aspect of the vibration, is to first of all sort of calm yourself down, because when something becomes sort of unbalanced in the root chakra field, it tends to have a very, all of a sudden, rapidly more frequent vibration. Generally, it sort of vibrates faster and faster and faster, like it's paying attention to itself, and it's really trying to transform, because when things vibrate more rapidly, they tend to do things like flip or expand, or and vibrations work that way. But the thing is, until we can figure out how to calm that vibration down into a more peaceful state, it's very difficult to actually relax enough to allow that vibration to heal and rebalance. It's almost like if we've just been injured in our physical body, pain can sort of throb, and we can sort of hang on to the pain, and we all of a sudden have to put every ounce of our focus, if it's very painful, whatever's just injured us, onto the pain. It hurts, and we say things like, ow, and that has our entire attention. Young children even cry from pain. If they fall down and graze their knee on the playground, there are tears, because injuries hurt. Well, in the same way, it is very difficult when we have a very speedy, injured feeling vibration that needs our healing attention, like a reversed vibration or a very powerful vibration with a major arcana influence. In these sets of readings, they can really require so much of our attention. And in the root chakra field, that can be a very draining experience energetically. So until, for instance, the vibration of stability here really harmonizes for this individual may very well find an exhaustive amount of energy going into the fact and the feeling of not having a very stable experience. And that's how this really very dramatically affects the overall vibration of the entire root chakra field. So I would say that vibration of stability, through the work of uprighting the vibration of temperance, is really one of the most important healing exercises that this querent can do. And really quickly, I'm going to look at the other three reversed cards here. I'm not going to spend as much time focusing on them, because I do want to keep this example reading a decent length for all of our students, because you may want to go through several example readings after the root chakra general reading here. You might want to dive into the work of some of the specific vibrations that we have, activations and reading examples for you. And those of you who are experiencing this reading and going, wow, I would love to get 10 or 12 in-depth readings like this in a retreat immersion of virtual readings with Laura, there is a way to do that through our inner circle group. So I want to certainly leave you guys a chance to have a look at the inner circle work where you can sign up for demo readings, amongst other things. There's, I believe, over $1,200 of coursework and readings in our inner circle package, and right now you should see a link on this screen if you're one of the first 50 in to our inner circle program to get that entire package of readings for just $247, and that's really the only way right now to get individual personal reading time with me. But really quickly, before we close this session and give you guys a chance to go off and explore other areas of this course and upgrade to the inner circle group if you would like to, I want to go over the other 3 reversed cards that we see in this reading. And the reversed card down at the very bottom is the Queen of Wands reversed, and that's residing in the domain of safety and security. So as we talked about earlier, this querent may have experienced needing to really be a very responsible person and come up with a massive amount of creative work under pressure in order to sort of gain a foothold in a very physical sense in their lives, maybe due to financial lack or a massive move of some sort. The Queen of Wands has ended up as a reversed energy in the domain of stability and security. So to do more healing work here, what we need to do is we need to turn the Queen of Wands energy upright in order to really start feeling more secure and more stable in the root chakra domain. And how you might want to do that, I've got a lot of suggestions for my inner circle groups, but just with an affirmation, I would like to give you the affirmation from Joanna Powell Colbert's book about the Queen of Wands. And in this work, she explores the queens as guardians. She renames the queens as guardians, and the guardians in her deck are in charge and charged with protecting and nurturing the community. And that's really what the queens do in the traditional deck. So I think the Guardian is a wonderful renaming of this archetype of the queen of each suit. I really like that word guardian because it brings that role of protecting and nurturing out from the gendered role of the queen to the domain of the queen and king energy, because really it is the domain of both masculine and feminine to protect and nurture. The affirmation that she has here, which I would recommend you say to upright a reversed Queen of Wands situation, is this: I declare my own truth with candor and clarity. Don't be afraid to declare your truth, to live your truth, to speak your truth, to create based on the foundation of your truth, because that is the role of the Queen of Wands. When we upright the Queen of Wands energy here, you're going to feel more stable, more secure. And part of why stability and security is a reversed vibrational energy in the root chakra field at this time is because you haven't felt like you've really been allowed to declare your truth with candor and clarity. You felt like you're maybe trying to fit in or learn the ropes somewhere new, or with a new system that you might be working with in some way. Now is the time to relax and start to be yourself in that domain, wherever that experience has taken you. Let's look now at the vibration of the victim issues, which we see represented in sort of the middle upper right position as the Nine of Wands reversed. Now, to have the Nine of Wands show up as a reversed energy here, the nines all really have to do with the more mature development of the story of the suit. In each of the suits there are nines. And the work of the nine is the work of solitude. It's also the work of mastery of that suit and the wisdom gained from the experience of that suit. So here the suit is fire, creativity and passion. And the affirmation for the nine of fire If we have the shadow aspect of the Nine of Fire, here's what Joanna Powell-Colbert says about this energy in shadow aspect. She says, you may feel disconnected to the great power source of all that is. And this is sort of the realm of how the victim issues in this reading are expressing. It is time to start or begin again some kind of spiritual practice. There are many to choose from. Try several out and then stick with one that works the best for you. Her affirmation for bringing this archetype upright in a vibrational sense, very important affirmation for healing victim issues for this querent, is this: I am a being of light and fire, as well as flesh and bone. Remind yourself of this. You are a being of light and fire, as well as a being of flesh and bone. Even here in the realm and the domain of the root chakra issues, the issues that energetically in the chakra system connect us in the most powerful sense to the physical, the material realm. Even here we also have to remember that we are not only a being of flesh and bone, we are also a being of light and fire. Very important affirmation there. Lastly, last affirmation here. You may have been looking at the reversed Ace of Cups in the very center of this reading, which of course is in the position of the centering vibration. And so what we learn here for this querent is the centering vibration needs some healing work, because we have a reversed card. We have the reversed Ace of Cups showing up in the vibration of centering. So here's what this means to me. The Ace of Cups represents emotional potential for emotional enjoyment and happiness and fulfillment in an emotional sense. And to have that reversed here in the card that represents the vibration of centering really could mean that perhaps this person is, in a sense, afraid to let go and relax and enjoy their experience emotionally. Maybe because they've had an experience in the past of there's always the sense, what's the old English saying of when's the other shoe gonna drop, is what we say in England, which doesn't make much sense unless you're English, I suppose. So I'm going to try to explain this in another way. When a person has had many experiences of being let down or disappointed or victimized in some sense, or things going terribly wrong in their life over a period of transition, we see transition here because we see those two fives up on the left-hand side and at the top. And so there's definitely transition. And where there's transition, there's chaos and change and perhaps harm and pain and injury. And so if you've had an experience in the past of relaxing, starting to enjoy yourself, and then everything falls apart at the seams, you're going to be less likely to let go and emotionally be able to relax, let go, and start enjoying yourself in the future. You're always, in a sense, going to be feeling on edge or on eggshells, waiting for the other shoe to drop, not quite believing that you are lucky enough to actually enjoy your experience and be happy. And in order to rectify and rebalance that, we have to turn this Ace of Cups energy, which governs how well you are going to be able to experience the potential of happiness and enjoyment in your life. We have to turn this vibration upright for you so that that experience is available to you. Because when that experience is available to you, then you are able to pull that vibration in, and centering as a vibration in your root chakra field will not be interfered with anymore. Centering cannot happen unless you trust that you are able to relax enough in your life to focus on something in a deep and immersive way, to allow yourself that experience of truly immersing in a focused way into the work of something is the work of samadhi in yoga. Samadhi in Sanskrit is that single-pointed focus. And when we attain that single-pointed focus, we remember that we are rishis, we are sages, we have ancient and beautiful energy and intuitive knowledges available to us as humans. We have to center. We have to get the vibration of centering active in order to really dive into that work. That is only possible for this querent guest one this week if we can get the vibration of the Ace of Cups turned upright so that this person can relax and enjoy and trust life. Because only when we can relax and enjoy and trust life are we ever going to be able to center and focus. And centering and focus is just integral to building on the foundation of your root chakra field into the healthy experiences of the other 6 chakras which await our study in this course. The root chakra is, of course, the most foundational of these experiences. So here is what Joanna Powell Colbert has to say about what happens when this card is in reversal, in its shadow aspect, and then I'll follow up her words here with her affirmation for you again. So when you look at the shadow aspect of this card and how to upright it, here's where Joanna Powell Colbert says that you are. You are mistrusting your emotions and your intuition, and you're putting limits on your dreams consequently. You have many good reasons for why you can't just follow your heart's desire, and your challenge is to learn to trust your feelings and your intuition. The affirmation here for you is as follows. I seek my heart's desire. It is really that simple. Become so very powerfully comfortable with that affirmation. I seek my heart's desire. Write it out for yourself. Put it on your bathroom mirror, whatever you have to do to get that affirmation in front of you several times over the course of this month. That will greatly serve you. Okay, so hopefully through this demonstration reading of the root chakra overview spread, you guys have learned a lot about how to really use a reading, an intuitive reading, to then take things a step further into healing work, to identify where the vibrational blockages or challenges might be for a querent or even for yourself if you're doing these readings for yourself, and then take the work of those vibrational challenges and actually have something to do to really, lock into, to go through the healing that is prescribed here. So I hope you've got a sense of both from this demonstration reading. Somewhere on the rest of this page you can find many ways in how you can take your work with us further. You'll either be returning to a central axis page that you were exploring from here, or going on to get some readings for yourself like this, really, in our inner circle package that we are offering this week. You might have heard a little bit about the inner circle before. Imagine a group of masters that are right in a private social network for you, willing to play with all of the readings that you find in the pranic intuition and chakra intuition systems. People who are going through the vibrational activations together in weekly webcasts so that we have the powerful group intention that really magnifies the energetic effect of our healing work when we do it live with each other or close to live within the same week as each other. Our inner circle group is that group. We are doing the powerful energy activations together in our group in order to multiply the effects for everyone in the group. We are doing demo and private readings for each other, and each enrollee in the inner circle group this week actually gets a full grand circle reading with me as part of a private VIP day of readings that we will be bringing through for each of our inner circle members. In the VIP day, you will be receiving between 10 and 12 private personal readings from me, readings that will not be available to others. They are only going to be available to you. You'll also be speaking to me one-on-one on your VIP day so that I can bring readings through for you in a really powerful and direct way. You don't have to be available for your entire VIP day, but I do need to do a small booking time with you to make this experience happen and to bring these 10 and 12 readings through for you. I do need a little bit more information, so we are going to have some chances to chat together live, and you'll see the logistics of how all of that works if you scroll down and explore how to join the Inner Circle group. I would love to have you on the group. You have about $1,247 worth of instant access to 7 courses that are available to you if you join the Inner Circle group this week. And you also get that chance to do that VIP day where you get 10 or even 12 private readings from me. And those are yours to keep when you join the Inner Circle group as well. And you also get the private social network, which I mentioned, which is going to be a very, very powerful social network to be aligned with and a part of. Not only because our members are invited to go into that social network and chat in private forums that are reserved just for our members about their work, about how they're progressing through the chakra intuition system and the pranic intuition system work. We're going to be doing energy activations with our live webcasts with you, and with our live webcasted demo reading sessions. Our Inner Circle is also going to learn together in a much more intimate setting, where we actually get to interact. And I'm so excited because it's really the only place that I'll be able to interact live with you guys. So very, very excited to get our current Inner Circle members into this new private social network this week. If you've already joined us, you will be getting a username and password for that private social network. And thank you so much for joining me for this reading. Scroll down to continue your exploration of the work here, and thanks for doing the work.